Back on the Pete the Planner Show, answering your money questions, or as we like to say around here, your money questions answered. This question is from a guy named Wilhelm, and it was buried within a bunch of other questions he had, but it basically was, how much should I spend on my girlfriend's engagement ring? Producer Nicole joins me, of course. Producer Nicole, hello.
Hi, Pete.
I have thoughts.
I love when you have thoughts.
I hate this question
I know.
a lot because here's what you were led to believe.
Yeah.
That there is an appropriate amount of money to spend on an expression of love that is dependent on the amount of money you have available,
Yes.
which is absurd. And here's why it's absurd. If I have $100 to spend on a ring for a lady friend or a man friend, if I have $100 to spend on someone who I'm asking to marry me, and it is my expression of my love, what does that have to do with it being a percentage of my overall wealth? Let's say I have $5,000 to spend on a ring for a person I want to spend my life with, and let's say it's $5,000 that I borrowed with a cash advance on a credit card. Does that mean I love them more because I spent $5,000 despite the fact that it's $5,000 I didn't have? That is absurd. Nicole, tell me why I'm wrong.
You're not wrong.
I know it.
It's such a weird. So a lot of people who I have been friends with for a long time now have now found themselves in this topic of buying a ring
Sure.
and how much you spend on a ring and
Right.
what does that look like and when do you get married and all of this. And it's such a headache.
And especially with the new generation coming out with so much student loan debt, which then not only delays their life, but getting a car, getting a place to live, getting engaged because you can't afford a ring. I'll just say this. I worked a lot in high school and college, and I paid for a ring my junior year in college. My junior year in college, I think I got engaged, I want to say like on April 2nd. I think is when I got engaged. Or, yeah, May 2nd. No one knows. It was the spring of my junior year in college. I paid thousands of dollars for an engagement ring for Mrs. Planner. She said no. I talked her into it. Kind of true.
At least you're honest.
Right. But the end of the ring, that was it. That was the end. Like there was it didn't drag on and affect my life. It wasn't a significant portion of my life savings. But when you don't have the money saved or you have to go into debt, and God forbid you take out a store credit card to pay for an engagement ring, what are you really saying to the person that just agreed to marry you? Are you saying, I'm going to put something as superficial as a piece of carbon, which has been put under a great deal of pressure, and I'm going to go into debt to get that, and then compromise our financial stability to start our formalized relationship? That's what it's saying. I'm taking the romance out of it, Nicole.
You are.
I know, and I'm sorry, but I've seen so many people not even have their ring paid off, and they were already divorced. I've seen people still paying off a ring, and they are divorced. And that upsets me.
How uncomfy.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
No. Oh.
Okay, and of course, you got the jewelry industry and the diamond industry. Like, well, 2 to 3 months salary. What? You're going to take someone at the beginning of their career, presumably, with this conversation, and you're going to say, I want you to remove 2 months worth of income to pay for this. That is the dumbest rule of thumb ever.
Ever.
I can't think of a dumber rule of thumb than 2 months of income to purchase an expression of love. So, Nicole, let's say I have a twin, and his name is Keith the Planner. All right?
I like Keith.
Keith, we're paternal twins, or fraternal. What is it? Fraternal, not paternal. No one actually
going.
knows. But we're not identical, meaning he has better hair. He's built. He's a wider shoulder base.
He's a linebacker.
And his skin smells better.
What an interesting observation.
These are the three. Some people's skin takes soap better. You know, like if I use Irish Spring, I'm rubbing it on myself. It'll smell good. But there's some people whose oil composition in their skin, they rub that same Irish Spring on themselves and they smell delicious for hours. Like I have a good friend, like he'll shower and come over to my house. He's clothed and he smells so good. And I don't want to mention it to him because it's creepy. But I'll tell you, like my skin can't perform like that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I've had a lot of coffee today.
How many shots of espresso did you have?
I've had several beverages.
That does not make me feel better.
So here's my point. Let's say my twin Keith and I both we're dating twins, sisters, right? Carolyn and Marilyn.
It's beautiful.
And I make $3,000 a month take home pay. And Keith's the more successful one because of his hairline. He makes $6,000 a month. What is that is saying is that he should spend $12,000 a month and I should spend $6,000 a month. That's the jewelry industry wives' tale, and that's somehow supposed to make some sense.
Somehow, right?
That makes no sense.
No.
That makes no sense at all. So here's my answer, non-answer. I hate the question of how much should you spend on an engagement ring, but I'm gonna give you the answer. This is an answer. No, it's not. It's sort of a non-answer. Here's the answer, Nicole. As little as possible. As little as humanly possible. No.
Can I tell you really quick? One of my favorite things about my mom's engagement ring is her favorite thing about her engagement ring is it's the best representation of where they were at when they got married.
See?
That's my mom's
That's
favorite
beautiful.
thing about it.
That's
right?
a really beautiful thing to say.
Isn't that so sweet?
Let me see the ring on my finger right now. I mean, if you're not watching on PeteThePlanner.tv, you're not seeing this, but you should go to PeteThePlanner.tv and look at this. This is a ring. This is my wedding ring. I've had this since my 10th anniversary. Why? Well, I lost my other ring. But no, because on our 10th anniversary, Mrs. Planner and I were like, let's celebrate our 10th anniversary by doing something nice. So she bought, I don't know what she bought, but I like this ring. I found this ring. We were out shopping. And I got a new wedding ring. Yeah, that's how much I love my wife. I wanted a different one. Not a different wife, different ring. This was $12. I've had this ring for 8 years. It's made of stainless steel and copper, and it is $12. It is the symbol of how much I value my relationship, which is more than $12.
I was going to say that ring looks a lot more than that.
Everyone's like, oh my gosh, that ring is very ringy. And I'm like, it's $12 worth of ring.
You right, it's ringy.
Coming up after the break, here's what we're going to do. I want to tell you how to break up with a financial advisor if you need to break up with one. There's a right way, there's a wrong way. I'm going to tell you that next on the Pete the Planner Show. I'm Pete the Planner.